Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with lilqueen. They've got a brand new track out. It's called Ghost in My Bed, and I'm super excited to talk to them all about it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. What's going on? How are you?
Doing good. Just having a chill day. Went to the beach yesterday.
Nice.
Chilling the rest of the day. Calming down.
Cool. Cool. I'm happy to hear that. Listen, I want to get right into it here. This song, immediately from what I've listened to you in, other past releases, it feels like a change in direction, but a positive one. Sort of like maybe a new era of your sound. But I
Yeah.
want to know though, because I found that a lot of your music definitely hinges on the lyricism. So what is this song about and what inspired it directly?
Um, so I've okay, so this song randomly just hit me like it was like midnight. I had just taken a protein shake. For some reason, when I take a protein shake, I
Sure.
get like my head just I don't know, I just feel weird after taking so much calorie intake at once. But
Yeah.
I was about to fall asleep and then some beat like hit my head and some like lyrics hit my head about the song, the rap verse. If you've heard
Mhm.
that part,
Yeah.
that is what hit my. I wrote part of the rap verse, the beginning of it, and from there I just came up with the hook and found a beat on YouTube originally to
Hell yeah.
inspire it. It was very X vibes. It was like very sad, but then I was like nervous because I was like, I don't write music like this. I've been doing the very upbeat, like fun stuff,
Sure.
but I decided that I'm tired of making stuff like that. I want to be like real instead of gimmicky. And because like you never know what could happen if you're ever gonna make it. So I'm like, I might as well just be me and be real.
Well, I fully agree
And
with that. And I, not to interrupt, but I think like especially as an independent artist, you have the creative control to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the specific headspace to make something, don't think that, oh, my sound only caters to this type of person, so I only need to do that. I think at the end of the day, you're the one that's putting the time and energy in. If it's not something that you'd want to listen to or make, then why the hell would you spend the time doing it?
that is so true. I mean, I feel like I've spent the past year making what I feel like other people want to hear from me.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like this past month, ever since the new year happened, like something just like hit me. And I'm just like, don't want to do that anymore and just stopped
right.
caring about what
Well,
other
listen,
people want.
life is different now. As soon as the new
Yeah.
year, things changed.
Yeah.
So, I get it. You make what you want to make. And honestly, like for anyone that's going to listen to this, and obviously I urge everyone to do so, like the production value is killer. It sounds wonderful. And I would, urge everyone to listen with a nice pair of headphones because you've really created a specific vibe and tone and feel here. I think it definitely ventures more into like hip hop and R&B, but you've still managed to sort of hold on to those pop tendencies. And I think kind of just like the future of where we're at creatively and technologically, things don't need to be just one sound. You don't need to just be making pop music. You've infused so much here. Did you always have
Yeah.
the idea for what you wanted the blueprint to be, or did it kind of just unravel as you made it?
So it started off as the rap, how I started. But then when I made the hook, I was like, wait, okay, there's a little bit of singing pop in here. And I'm like, that's not what I do usually. But then I was like, you know
Sure.
what? I can explore other genres, like you just said, and
Yeah.
try new or mix it all together. That's kind of what I love to do. So it kind of just turned into like dark pop with rap mix in there, like hip hop.
Yeah.
I can mix it with a few different things. I don't know. I didn't plan for it to be anything. It just turned into something. Went into the studio, went producer, and it just like I don't know. I loved it. Whatever, but it turned into. It just loved what it turned into.
That's awesome. Sometimes it's best to go in with no plan and kind of fly by the seat of your pants and figure it out
Yeah.
on the fly. You
And
know what I'm saying?
I'm just excited for it to come out because like usually I show all of my friends, my close friends, like what I'm working
Sure.
on, and but I haven't showed them this at all because they're gonna be like,
This
they're
is
like, what?
you?
They're like, what? They're like, are you like
Right.
obsessed or something? Why are you making music like this?
I listen, I think that's a valid point. Sometimes a change in anything in our lives can be a sign of depression. But I
Yeah.
think this is a new creative outlet and I completely enjoy it. And I also think that it kind of goes back to the thing of, well, you're the one making the music, you're the one putting the time into it. If it's something you're feeling, test it out. And then also being an independent artist who's continuing to make a name for themselves, sometimes it's best to kind of throw a little bit of everything out there and see what sticks. You know what I'm
That is
saying? It's just
true.
like, because you never know who's going to listen. You never know who's going to pick up on a certain sound and be like, oh, I want to explore from that. People that
Yeah.
listen and enjoy will eventually reach out or, push you to make more music in a certain direction.
Yeah.
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 Um,
But I will say, with all the songs I've been making were just like fun songs, but what has inspired me, well, actually, my plan was to eventually make music like this, but I was
sure.
waiting and waiting down the line so when like maybe I had more of a platform. But I will
Yeah.
say, I have this book that is like that I hide under my bed so no one finds. And it's kind of like a diary, but it's like I write a bunch of sad or more serious real songs about real
Okay.
scenarios in there, and I never use them. I was like, I'll put this away until like that time comes. And
Of
I feel like I'm
course.
finally opening up that book in a way. Like that time starting now. I'm exploring into
Nice.
making music about real things. Like Go to My Bed. It's about having the struggle or like trouble to let go of someone, like a loved one or a relationship. To
Sure.
me, it was like letting go of someone that I have that has broken up with me. And I still, wanted them there. I was like wanting them back. Couldn't
Yeah.
stop thinking about them. Or it could be thought of as loss of a loved one, like family, you know, go in two
Sure.
ways.
I think I mean, for sure, I think it's relatable. And, like I got the background on the song before I listened. But in my experience, and it takes nothing away from your sound switch, I found that these topics are kind of best associated with what I would consider somewhat sadder music or more introspective
Yeah,
music. And I'm not a fan of like, how do I explain this? I'm not a fan of like the juxtaposed sound of like really bright poppy tones and then just bringing you down with the message. I think that they have to equal each other. I also
yeah,
think that when people listen to this, they immediately feel the emotion that's coming out of it, which then makes them actually listen to the words. Because you and I know that a majority of people listen to music for the way that it makes them feel rather
yeah.
than just like, yeah, I'm in a mood and I want to listen to this type of music. There's so many different types of music enjoyers out there, but unfortunately, so many don't care about the lyrics. I think in this case, though, they're going to gravitate to what you're actually talking about.
That's what I'm praying that they like listen to,
Right, right.
especially the rap. I'm like, please listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is a
absolutely.
story.
So I want to hear from you because I've kind of explained it myself in a way, but I want to see how close I was. You've changed up your sound. How are you explaining this? How are you pitching this as far as genres go?
Um, I was for this specific song, I was pitching it for dark pop, hip hop.
Yeah,
That's what I was going for this.
yeah, I think that tracks 100% because
Yeah.
it definitely keeps hints of your old sound, but it feels like a maturity in a way. It's hard to explain without actually listening to the song. So it's like people
It feels
listening
like
going to be like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
it feels like I'm telling a story instead of just trying to rhyme. If you know
Right,
what I mean.
right.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that you felt quite inspired after finishing this thing up. Do you feel as though this is a new era for more experimentation from you?
Yes, because I am starting to work on another song already that's moving in this
Nice.
direction. And I'm very inspired by another artist that I've been obsessed with for like years now.
Who?
I don't know if you know who Nessa Barrett is.
The name sounds very familiar.
She's she's been making music since like 20 into 2020 or so, but she's up and coming. She's like just now
Okay.
starting to get her name really out there. But
Sweet.
very dark pop.
Nice. I mean, that's actually, I'm happy that you brought that up because I do feel that the music you enjoy influences the music you make. But then I
Yeah.
also have a lot of conversations with people who listen to such a wide variety of music that they try not to make the music that they're listening to. In your case, though, not to put words in your mouth, but it does sort of feel like the way that your tastes have changed, your music has changed, and it's evolved you into a sort of different artist over this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it has.
Nice. And then in terms of the actual process of making this music, how different was it, or was it more difficult to write this type of song as opposed to what you were doing in the past?
Well, honestly, I wrote this whole thing like this. Like it just, but
Nice.
when I
Those are the
needed to
best
write
songs,
more,
though.
it
Those are
just
the
happened.
best ones. Yeah.
But typically, when I write a song, the other ones that I had this past like year, I'd write a piece of it, and then I would force myself to sit down and walk back and forth in my room to write
Sure.
some verse. But this one just came, it just like hit me all in one day. It took me
Nice.
literally like 3 days to make this song.
That's so wild because it's, I
That's the
mean,
production took a
yeah,
little
no,
bit.
the production is a whole beast of its own. I understand that. But the most important part is the actual blueprint, lyricism, tone, and then once you get into the studio, the notes. Because
Yeah,
the difficult part of being a producer is sort of reading the other half of the artist's brain and trying to figure out
yeah.
what exactly is going on here.
And he's been like
Um, yeah.
he's been really working because he doesn't even do like what I'm having him do, he's mostly like into just electric, very club music. So this is a
Okay.
whole different like vibe for him to figure out, but he's loving it and he's killing it. So I'm
Nice.
happy. But
Do you ever find that you have to get into a specific headspace to start writing, or does it strike you at any moment?
um, sometimes I feel like I have to, but lately, like with this song, I just let it hit me when it hits me, so it's more natural.
Okay.
I actually feel it. So I prefer to just write what I'm actually feeling or reminiscing a certain memory or remembering something instead of just trying to like force myself to write down and sit for a moment and think on something like I used to.
Sure. Yeah, what do you think has changed for you over the years as an artist? Like, do you feel the growth or the things that you've learned in the past that you've taken to the present?
I'd say I've learned a lot about how music works this past year, especially with the whole behind the scenes of everything,
Yeah,
like the production and all the stuff you gotta do to keep yourself safe once releasing,
for
all the
real.
stress. And I realized how expensive it really is. I was like, whoa,
Yeah, it's a
one song,
full-time business.
that's crazy. I didn't know any of this like before a year ago.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing is not only are you the one making the music, but now you've got to become a full-time content creator just for people to listen to your music. And it's insane. Obviously, it's
I
not
gotta
how
be
it
the,
used to be, but it's like this
you gotta be an
necessary evil
influence,
now that sucks. It sucks, you know?
literally. And it's like, so besides like the music, then you gotta figure out what's supposed to get
Yeah,
people
man,
to see all this. And then there's
it's
the,
absurd.
yeah, but it's all right. As long as you love what you're making, then
I
people will
agree
come
with
around.
that. Exactly. The music speaks for itself. But
Yeah.
in order to avoid any type of burnout, is there, anything that you do to kind of combat that, to keep yourself going when times get tough?
I mean, I do get worried a lot and have like negative thoughts all the time. I try to stay positive and tell myself that things could be a lot worse. At least you're doing
Yeah,
what you love now. Like life could be a lot worse. Could be in a worse
yeah,
scenario.
I agree. I agree. Well, listen, we're right at the beginning of the year here. We're recording this on February 3rd. You've sort of highlighted that you have more music coming, which I'm thrilled about. But what does the rest of the year potentially look like for you? I know it's hard to plan a year in advance. So, what are some things that you'd like to do or that you'd like to see happen?
So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sound like a fan when I say this.
So, what?
Oh. So I said I love Nessa Barrett.
Yeah,
I've actually met her too. I went
cool.
to two of her parties and talked to her for a while and got a whole debrief. But this next song, I'm hoping to make it very good. And one goal I'm hoping to, it's a really big goal, is to like work on something with her or have like a
That'd
feature.
be
But then
incredible.
what's also crazy is I'm planning to go to London this year to go see her. Well, she's doing a
Sweet.
tour in the US, but I'm planning
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see
yeah.
her quickly in London.
Sure, sure.
So I feel like my year is really revolved around her. But
Nothing
besides
wrong
my
with that.
things that are happening, I do have a lot of stuff planned for like new
Cool.
music
Well,
and
listen,
journey.
I think a DM or an email could literally change your life. So
I
you
know.
never know the connection you might make just by sending a message. Obviously, it's a continuation of you working on yourself, putting out music and this and that, and kind of following whatever guidelines are out there. But
Yeah.
man, an opening spot or a collaboration or just a post from someone else can literally change it all. And it's kind of just putting
No.
yourself out there, even though it can be uncomfortable.
I feel like in a way, like the universe wants it to happen because I met her and then went to her after party and talked to her for a while, got to know her. And then on New Year's, I got to know and meet her manager and we became
Oh, hell
mutual.
yeah.
So I'm just like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah.
Why is there so much going on? But I
That's
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
really inspired me. It made me like driven.
It's the story you're going to tell 2 years from now. You know, you're going to reference this and be like, well, this thing happened and that thing happened. And then look at me now. And that's kind of just how it
Yeah.
happens. It's all about propping yourself up. And as much as it's not great, you know, collaborating and using others and kind of just propping yourself up, it can be a great thing.
Yeah.
In terms of actual like real things, you've got more music. What, you know, are you planning on getting out there and playing live? Is that something you've done in the past or want to do?
I actually had contact with this page that allows artists, new artists to sometimes artists that aren't new to perform and they post them on their pages and stuff.
Oh
And
yeah,
I sent requests and I'm just waiting for them to, reach back to potentially
sure.
pick me on. But I would love to perform live because obviously it helped me. It's just very hard to find a place or somewhere to perform that actually is interested in
Yeah,
a new
I
art.
understand that. Yeah, then getting the audience and this and that. It's like it's why we have to leverage social media as much as we do.
Yeah,
I have a couple more questions for you. In the same vein of performing, though, is there a single song of yours that you're most looking forward to getting to play in front of an audience?
I'd say this song that I'm really seeing.
Awesome.
Because
Good
like
answer.
other ones I've performed before, and it's very just like, bouncing around, live nice. But this one's like, it feels like it's actually a real song. Like because it feels like real emotion, real production. I don't know how to like fully explain it, but it made me not even care about anything else I've made before this.
I love that.
Like I just don't care about it anymore. I mean, obviously I care about some of them because like there was a lot of work put into those, but I've just always wanted to go into this direction. I've just been scared, but I'm
That's
happy I'm doing it.
okay. Listen, the song is about to be out. You put the hardest foot forward. You made the song. So that's really that all that matters here.
Yeah.
And in a similar vein, my last thing for you here is it's basically, you know, I think that people who will find you and your music from anywhere will always question like, is there anything that you'd like to say to them before they listen for the first time? Something important that you think that they should know before listening?
To this song,
To anything. Could be this
I
song, could be your discography, just a, you know, a welcoming message.
I would tell them to have an open mind. Because I know a lot of people only like certain types of music and might not like this
Sure.
vibe. But I would tell them to have an open mind and to take the time to sit and just listen and feel and hopefully relate.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just give a new sound a try and see how you feel when listening to it.
Nice. I think that's
Mainly,
a
mainly
great
just have an
message.
open mind. I
Yeah,
would wish that most people would just open their minds up and listen
I
to what people are
fully
saying.
agree. And it's like if they're familiar with your music of the past, know it's going to be a little different, but that the
Yeah.
same artist is making it. So go in with an open mind and enjoy it.
Yeah,
Um,
I've had some hate recently on all my music because I've been since I started promoting this song a little bit on TikTok, they're starting to like this sound, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, why are you posting like you're some semi-pop artist but releasing cringe rap
nah,
music?" Like,
they're
I'm like,
wrong. They're
yo,
wrong.
wait,
And because they're no, listen, I know it sucks to get hate messages. I get them all the time on TikTok. but it means that
Yeah.
they're watching and consuming your content. And that's what matters the most, because the most difficult thing is to get eyes on your stuff. It's when you're getting no comments that I'm worried. It's when things
Yeah.
get out there, people become familiar with who you are and what you're doing. And if they want to hate, great, because hate drives the engagement, which shows it to more people who are going to like it. And that's the
That's,
best part.
I mean, any attention is better than no attention
I
in a
agree.
way.
It's ultimately about not giving a shit. And for me too, that's the
That,
hardest thing to get over. It's like, I don't want to put myself out there, but you know what? Like, in order to grow and get bigger, it's exactly what you have to do.
yeah. And I feel like that's been my biggest thing this past year or past few months is I
Yeah.
just stopped caring.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
what it's
care
all
anymore
about.
about what anyone has to think or say.
Fully agree. I fully agree. Listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I really enjoyed this conversation a lot, and the music
Think,
as well. But before we wrap up, I want to plug this again for you. So for everyone out there who didn't know who I'm speaking with, this is Lil Queen. The song, by the time this is out, will be out. It's called Ghost in My Bed. We will have the links to everything so that you can listen and share and follow along and generally stay tuned. I know that more music is on the way, and I'm excited to listen to it. But I'm also like personally invested in your journey at this point, because I like the change in sound and I'm excited to see where everything goes.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, in that case, again, I want to thank you, and it was a pleasure getting to talk with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Have a good rest of your vacation, and I hope to speak soon.
You too. Thank you.
Cool. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.